Okay, well, thank you very much. Welcome to Module 3 of our advanced training. We're going to talk about the multi-site feature. Now, multi-site is the ability to look at data from multiple instruments at the same time and on the same charts. And you have the ability within Dran-VIew to always add other sites. Dran-VIew Pro, you can add other sites. So as an example, I'm going to open up two sites. I'm going to open up SAG directivity site, and this is the same demo site that we had during our basic, and I think we referred to it last week. And this is just demonstrating our SAG directivity answer module, where we simply introduce a SAG, and you can see how the instrument in Dran-VIew shows the characterization that the SAG originated upstream or downstream from the monitoring point. So my point is, within Dran-VIew, you always have the ability to add different sites. So I'm going to do the same thing, but from a PQ-diff file. Okay, and when you do that, Dran-VIew automatically opens up another tab, and you can see I'm selecting one tab and I'm selecting the next tab. So this is great, but there are individual files or sites within Dran-VIew, and this is the extent of Dran-VIew Pro's capabilities. So yes, you can look at multiple sites, but they're separate. They're not related to each other within Dran-VIew. However, within Dran-VIew Enterprise, you can certainly do it the way that I just demonstrated, or you have the ability to overlay the information and look at them on one chart. So as an example, I'm going to close out my PQ-diff file. So as you can see, I have loaded in my SAG directivity file right from the instrument. That's at DDBX. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another version of this file, because when this makes sense, when this application makes sense, it's when you have data from two different or multiple sites that are recorded at the same time. Okay, and this is the best small example that I have to demonstrate this. So the way you do that, you go File, Site, and you can see some options here. I'm going to go Site New, and this adds another data file or a site to the active document. I also have the ability, just to describe, I can append files as well. So I can add another site for comparison purposes, as we're going to do here. This is a site that's time related, or in the append option, maybe as a good example for our Dran expert, and I shared this example last week, maybe I have 4 one-week energy surveys from our Dran expert energy and PQ logger. Maybe I want to make that a month. So I can append, I can load in my first week, and I can go append week 2, week 3, week 4. Now Dran-VIew will show me one complete week's worth of data. So that's the example of the append. And rename is self-explanatory. You can change the name of your site. So as it appears right up here, you can change that name. So if we go to Site New, that's going to add a site to our existing file. All right. So I'm going to just path up to my SAG directivity demo test. You can see I have 2 files here. One's the DDBX file that we have already loaded here, and I'm going to load up the PQ-diff version of that. So this data has been created in a PQ-diff format as well, but I'm going to load that up in addition to that. So you can see I added it to my site, and you can see it's kind of hyphenated it over here. It took the name of the site 1, and it hyphenated the name of site 2. Gets a little complex and a lot of text when you go and look at that, but especially when you add multiple files. But this is how that it shows up. Now, the one thing that you should notice, here's our original file here. We've added our second file right below it. So here's all the data recorded by our second file. Now, recognize that this is a PQ-diff format, so you're going to see the same information in a slightly different way. And this is the data file from the instrument, okay? If I loaded this file twice, you would see the replica of what happened up here and what happened down here, but that would look too similar. So I wanted to use something that's a little bit different. So if I just unclick the enlarge here, you can see how things, that's not as big as before, and you can see what I've done. So if I right click, I go to properties. Now, the one thing you'll notice, I have site 1 loaded here, and I have site 2 available as well. So they're individually, the channels of each are individually controllable. So once you've loaded your second, third, fourth, or whatever sites, you can individually just continue to build a list here of the sites. You can individually choose channels and parameters, or parameters and channels within those parameters to display. I must warn you that you can turn on a lot of information here. Dran-VIew will do it. it may be a little confusing to look at. So when you start adding channels and parameters to your plots, you may want to be a little careful because they can become cluttered at that point. So, but just as a simple example to show you how this works, I'm going to highlight our second PQDiff one. I'm going to uncheck everything but channel ARMS, and I'm going to do the same for our original file that we loaded. Okay, so you can see I'm only have on the basic metering for my first site, only ARMS, and my second site, the same thing. I'm going to just click OK. And I'm going to stack them, and I'm going to click right over here to expand my, my display. So you can see, in fact, I'll enlarge it one more time so you can see it's a little bit bigger. So you can see this was recorded in the Dran-VIew form. I'm sorry, the DDB file for the instrument. This is that same data that's been added to the site in a PQDiff format. You can see these are the same. But hypothetically, maybe this is this is two transformers on off the entrance, the service entrance of a building, and I'm trying to see which transformer had the problem, or which devices downstream from that transformer had the problem. So you can see now I can stack, or I can overlay the information that came from two or more different instruments. Extremely powerful. So you have the ability in each one of these to customize the names. You can see I highlight there. I click, I highlight over here. So all the capabilities of Dran-VIew to annotate, to add comments, to add images, to change the fonts that you see, to change line widths, all that still exists. But Dran-VIew Enterprise allowed me to add one site to my file, and I could add multiple sites to my file as well. So again, each channel and parameter is selectable. So if I right click, oops, and select properties. Okay, try it one more time. All righty, just bear with me. Right click, go to properties. Okay, sorry. And you can see I can individually select site 1, site 2, site 3, 4, all the way up to 16, I believe, will be just located down here. All right, so you have the ability to individually select any channel or any parameter from an individual site.